Hey guys, back for another episode. This is Dwaine Clarke, episode 163. We have Heshel Mangel in the building to talk about real estate and technology coming up. Hello and welcome to the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing Show. This is your host, Dwaine Clarke, and today we have Heshel Mangel. He is a real estate investor, as well as being an expert in business analytics and systems, as well as being the founder of Benchmark Properties and Investments. Heshel, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Thank God. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it. It's taking the time, especially during the busy Christmas holiday. This usually get times where you're with family and you just everything's just kind of chaotic at this time. So I appreciate you taking the moment to kind of talk to us to our audience for a bit, and I look forward to this interview. But before we get things started, I kind of read a little bit about your background as far as technology and merging it with real estate, which is very exciting to me. But for those who are not familiar with you, can you kind of go through how you got started in real estate and what's your current focus?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I kind of got involved in real estate, as well as merging kind of these two different industries together, um, I did have a business analytics company where I would consult with companies that were looking to just create their processes a little bit more efficient, understand their workflows better, and build out workflows and solutions using data and data analytics to just bring another level of efficiency and streamlining their business. So I had that for a while, and then as I started, dabbling into real estate myself, I realized that I can really take those skills and apply it to the real estate industry. Um, so I kind of winded down the consultancy aspect of it and started kind of built up my own real estate company using those tools that I was helping other companies use for their own businesses and incorporating them into the real estate industry, and incorporating those tools, mechanisms, using technology, using data to really build out an operation focused in real estate and keeping it efficient and streamlined.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing that now, especially as we're starting to see a lot of transitioning from kind of the handshake and stuff to more virtual background. You're seeing a lot of these fintech companies popping up left and right, kind of just evolving, utilizing technology. So it's like learning that skill and then getting really in tune with the current times is definitely something you have to definitely do. As far as kind of you jumping into the real estate sector, can you kind of talk about your road to like the educational side to kind of learn more about the aspects of the type of investments that you wanted to get involved in? Did you go the traditional route of books and courses? Go with a mentor? Can you kind of take us through your educational journey?
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of official education, had nothing real estate related at all. Um, it was just it was kickstarted kind of by a conversation with a friend um, who had told me about what he was doing in real estate, and his family's been in real estate for some time, and that kind of light just went off in my head and realized the power that the industry has. So really just started to I mean, at that time I was a teacher actually. And I remember walking to the school that I was teaching in and just taking down numbers of all the real estate related signs that I saw in the streets and during my break calling those numbers. And slowly just, gaining more information, doing research, going to courses, reading up online. And then, eventually as I started to really get my foot wet and gain some experience as well, connecting myself with a few mentors that continue to help me in my development and understanding of the industry.
Yeah, I like that a
But
lot.
yeah, it really started just pushing myself through it, and just taking one step of action, and allowing that to just roll into continuing to develop. And I'm still learning so much. Um, and continuing that education. So that I don't think the education aspect of it, I don't think ever ends.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that. And as far as kind of like your niche that you kind of like to go into, I know we had talked a little bit before we started recording. There's a focus on multifamily. Can you kind of talk about your current focus of investments and kind of what drove you to kind of sticking to that?
Yeah. So. I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel that at the end, the market dictates what specific asset type and I'm involved in. My focus now is in multifamily, specifically the smaller properties, less than 150 units. Um, at that size, I find that the competition from the larger companies is much greater. And so me being a smaller local player is usually priced out of those. And so I'm finding that with the efficiency that I'm able to have, uh, being local and the systems that we've built out, those inefficiencies that smaller operators usually find, I can kind of weed myself out of those inefficiencies. So have this like sweet spot of these smaller property sizes where we can effectively manage them and efficiently manage them. They're B and C class multifamily properties, so working class residents, not too high of a price point. The demand is always going to be there, and yeah, so we found that really to be working. In terms of what type of property in specific and what our strategy is, that has also adjusted, especially throughout COVID. Before COVID, I would say we were taking on more risk on the construction and repositioning side of things and taking more distressed assets. And doing larger repositions, kind of emptying out the building and really redoing it from the bottom up. Now we're targeting more stable properties, just due to, again, just what the market is giving us and the uncertainty that's out there in the market. So we prefer to go into an asset that's already more stable and provide us with more consistent cash flow over the long term.
And then are you focusing? You had mentioned before, is it Cincinnati market? Can you kind of talk about some of the characteristics that you like about the market, and are you also looking at other surrounding markets as well?
Yeah, so it is primarily the Cincinnati market, or anywhere that I can get within a day back and forth. So I've created a space of about an hour and a half drive from Cincinnati. Um, yeah, what I like about the market is it's small enough that it's very easy to learn where to go, where not to go, who to deal with, who not to deal with. Relationships and networking is a huge part of my business. So that's a part that I can really control, being that I'm dealing with this with a smaller city. And I don't really have to feel like I need to extend myself and learn a whole bunch of different markets at the same time and rely too much on other people in that regard. I can keep things pretty controlled because of the size. Um, I do look at other opportunities outside on the passive side. So I am a partner in a couple of other real estate related deals outside of my market, in markets that I feel like, if the operator in those areas would have a better handle on those assets in those areas. So I do like to be able to diversify myself and get myself included in those deals as well. But where I myself operate actively is, I stick pretty much to my area.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's kind of talk about like another subject that you're an expert on is like the technology side. You had just mentioned that as far as being a consultant. Can you kind of talk about some of the projects that you was involved in regarding for your company, merging the technology as well as with real estate? I think that's very exciting as people starting to get into the space. They're starting to learn more about it, have to be able to just kind of embrace it. But you kind of talk about like the efficiencies that technology has made it in order for to make real estate investing a little bit more simpler.
Yeah, so our goal and what I tell all our team members is we don't want to leave anything in our heads. We want to be able to see, touch, and visualize everything that's going on in our business on a day-to-day basis. So we don't have to rely on our own memory, get bogged down with details. We want to be able to create a platform where if for whatever reason we weren't here tomorrow, somebody else can step right in and fill our shoes. And with that kind of premise and goal in mind, we set out to put down, starting from every goal and metric that we want to hit in our business, from the investor side of it to the property management side of it, and build out systems that we can clearly visualize if we're hitting those goals, how we're hitting those goals, be able to manipulate different criteria to try to see where the gaps are and how to fill those. And right away, whenever we see a gap, um, we'll put a process in place to try to fill that gap so it doesn't happen again. And the ability to do that and to really visualize using, a dashboard or a chart or something, um, that gives you that just instant visual of how your business is performing today, where the gaps are, and how we can fill those gaps so it's performing even better tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really really cool. And as far as kind of taking us through to the future, where do you see that your company's heading? What new things that you want to kind of tackle? I know that you said you're focusing on that below 150 unit niche. As far as can you kind of take us kind of a glimpse of what you guys' goals is heading in for the 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, we keep developing, especially on the technology side of it. We're always looking for new solutions, and new ways that we can build out our processes, utilizing technology to keep making it more efficient. Um, and I think that's where the growth will come. The more efficient we can be, the more we can grow, and we'll continue, to have more time then to continue to source new properties, new deals, and new opportunities. And at the end of the day, that's the one limit that we have is time. And so the more time that we can free up to be able to find new opportunities is how quick we're going to be, and if we'll be able to grow. So that's kind of our focus, and where we see, especially the next year coming, is what we want to focus on is just continuing to be more efficient. Um, and as efficient as we are, we'll be able to grow.
Awesome. And then can you take us through like a typical workday for you? And then also, do you have any special morning routines?
Yeah, typical work day. I mean, I try to keep things as uniform as possible. One thing in this industry is nothing is ever uniform. So um, I would say a substantial part of my day is spent, solving problems, which the problems is different every day. Whatever brings up whatever problems come up that at that time. But in terms of a morning routine, because I think I am very much into my routines. I'm an early riser. I do spend time in the morning, studying, learning, praying, and then I take my kids to school. So, I'm up already for 4 or 5 hours before my workday actually starts, doing just getting ready, spending time studying, learning, meditating, praying. Those are important to me. It gives me focus for the entire day about what's really important, and why I do what I do, and to make sure I stay aligned with what my personal and family goals are for the long term.
I like that a lot. And I know we just talked about, technology and all the different systems and stuff that you're involved in. Can you kind of talk about some of the ones that you're using currently with your team to kind of make you guys more efficient as a force?
Yeah, I mean, we use a CRM is Pipedrive, and we've kind of built it out to make it work for property management, investor management. Um, so that's something that we use pretty consistently in terms of workflow automation and utilizing templates and workflows, and really giving that, but at the same time the personal touch, but at the same time the efficiency of it. So we're not delayed on communicating with any of our clients or customers. Um, and then really also we're building out our standard operating procedures has been huge as well, and having that at the fingertips of all of our team members. No matter what task they need to do, there's a document for it, and they can quickly follow the procedures of what they're meant to do. They don't have to spend too much time thinking about how are they going to do it, or what to do, or where to press, or what to go. Everything is meant to be easily accessible and understandable and available.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. We so connect that at that level such a lot because like for me, it's like if I have so many things, different things to do. I got a couple people working for me, and it's like if it's not written out, I don't have systems, I don't have procedures. It just feels like it gets chaotic, and it's like
Yeah.
and every day doesn't end up being the same. And then sometimes you just have to put out a fire or you have to do something, and things can quickly get off task. And like I said, having those procedures, having those tools, having all those resources just makes everything streamlined and be able to get you back on course to hit those goals. So yeah, definitely connect with you a lot. And like I said, a lot of people that I talk to on the show that I asked, they also implement as well. And that really shows to the success that they have as a business. So as we preach this more and more, people start to adopt it. It's definitely going to help everyone, regardless if you have a business or not, just running simple things in life. So Yeah, we appreciate you sharing those insights there. Can you talk about,
Yeah,
you had
absolutely.
mentioned, I mean, definitely close to your family and, your faith and everything. Can you, run us through, what you're most grateful for?
Yeah, so you hit it right there. I'm most grateful for my family, and for their support, and as well as the constant help of God. Um, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in a position to give. I don't take that for granted either. Um, to be in the position to support other causes and people that I believe in is something I don't take lightly, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Awesome. And can you share? We'll make sure to have all your information on the show notes, like always, and shoot out to our newsletter for all of our listeners. Can you share with us how we get in touch with you?
Yeah, the easiest way to get in touch with me is on LinkedIn. Just type in my name, Heshel Mangel, and the link will be there in the show notes. Yeah, but that's the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Heshel, like I said, it was a pleasure to speak with you. I know during the holidays it's tough to catch people. Everyone's kind of with family. We're glad that you're able to cut out 20, 30 minutes for us, to our listeners. Definitely going to get a lot of value from this show. All the best to you during this holiday season, and look forward to connecting with you again soon.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was nice to get a few minutes of quiet here.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey there, this is Dwaine Clarke, your host of the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing Show. I want to thank you again for tuning in and hope you're enjoying this valuable content. While I got you for a quick minute, I wanted to send you an invitation to join our growing investor community. It's called the Passive Investors Club. It's a group of like-minded individuals like you who are seeking financial freedom and to build true wealth through passive investing in commercial real estate. We take a totally different approach to investing that is opposite, that is pushed by the financial advisors and what we see in the mainstream media. We like to invest in real assets that we can touch and understand and that are not subject to the wild swings of the financial markets. We don't want to be part of the herd who pursues the traditional route, leaving our financial future to Wall Street. So if you're interested in joining our group and to sharing resources and opportunities, then go to passiveinvestorsclub.com/join. Joining the club is completely free and there's no obligation. And all our members receive our free Passive Investors course along with tons of resources and content. So again, passiveinvestorsclub.com/join.